So I just got a question from Brittany. Apparently, she's using a property management company that is unlicensed, and Brittany wants to know if she should be concerned. Yes. So it's illegal to operate a property management company without a license in the state of PA and in most states, if not every state. Uh, it's extremely illegal for the entity who's actually doing it. And I'm not an attorney. I cannot advise you legally. So seek proper, adequate legal counsel, someone who's qualified to answer these questions. But my understanding of the law, it's extremely illegal for the person who's running the company, and it's extremely illegal for the owner, and it comes with very significant repercussions. And getting caught is extremely easy. You turn down a tenant for a rental, they will try to report you. Charge their security deposit, the tenant will try to report you. If you don't make a repair in a timely manner, the tenant will try to report you. You try to evict the tenant, they will try to report you. If a real estate agent wants a commission, for a vacancy you're posting, and you say, I'm sorry, I'm not paying commission, they will try to report you, or they may try to report you. It's just, a rival property management company broker is very petty. They will report you. I know one broker here in Philadelphia who operates just enough to really support himself as a real estate agent. So he has a broker license, but he just works as a real estate agent under a brokerage. He spends his time checking websites, email signatures, and pulling up licenses. Go to the state sites just to kind of do that. He's I don't want to be too judgmental, but he's, a Philadelphia property management company and real estate tattle-tale. He has a reputation in the city. He just spends his time just trying to find fault, use his broker license to find fault with other companies. And if a disgruntled tenant or a disgruntled real estate agent, let's say, contacts these agencies, these Philadelphia government agencies or state agencies, they're just going to turn down their claims. They're just going to say, okay, you're upset because you were turned down, for your application was turned down for rental because you have poor credit. They just won't take the claim. But they're only going to turn this down after they check the legality of the property management company. They're going to check the legality of the landlord. They're going to make sure it's a legal rental. And there's certain things in Philadelphia that you have to do to legalize a rental. And they're going to check that the property management company, if there's one used, is legalized. And then they'll turn it down. They'll say, okay, well, this is a legal landlord. This is a legally rented property. This is a legal property management company. And this is a frivolous claim. So they're just going to ignore it. But if it's not, they're going to move forward with not only the complaint, but they're going to go right after that. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I would be incredibly fearful of the ramifications, because they're going to go after the landlord, property owner. They're going to go after the entities operating illegally as a property management company. And I would also be very concerned about them, basically taking all funds, freezing your accounts. They're going to certainly freeze any of the escrow accounts or the monies that you should have held into escrow for the tenant, security deposits, and last month's rent. But I would also be extremely afraid, and I imagine this actually happens, is since the property was never a legally run rental. So rental property is a business. So when you own a rental property, you're in the business of a rental property. And if it's an illegally run business, then I do imagine and can see the Philadelphia or state agencies refunding all the funds to the consumer, in this case the tenant. So the tenant's been paying rent for a year, 2 years, 3 years. They're going to say, well, that's been an illegal business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and we're going to have you refund all that money to that individual because it was never a legalized business to begin with. So I would be extremely careful. And there's really no reason to use an illegal company. I don't know that somebody who isn't, I assume, a professional, legal, credible, one of the better property management companies in your city. So certainly here in Philadelphia, the better companies tend to be the least expensive ones. So why? Because we have processes and systems, and it's easier to be a good company than it is to be a bad company. So I do think that most of the best options would be your least expensive ones. I don't know if hiring a contractor who just feels they can manage a property is going to be a less expensive option. I mean, not only are they not going to do as good of a job, but they're also probably not going to charge any less. They're going to charge what they're going to charge because they don't have systems in place. So to answer your question, yeah, I would be concerned. I'm not trying to steer you otherwise and say, hey, I own a property management company, please use property management companies, EA property management companies. I mean, from the way I see it, I think it actually would be a really bad idea to use an unlicensed property management company. Certainly a bad idea to run a unlicensed property management company, especially here in Philadelphia. But I definitely think it would be a bad idea for an owner to use one. I do think, again, not an attorney, I do think you're facing some very serious legal ramifications, and I do think it's extremely likely for you to get caught. I mean, you actually have even government agencies actually looking out, state agencies probably looking to see who's legal and who's not. But you definitely have individuals that are going around looking, trying to catch other people for whatever reason, trying to catch other people doing something wrong. All right. I hope that helps. Wish I could tell you otherwise. But happy rental property investing.